Hey, it's Jack from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is December 2nd, 2023. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Also, if you like these videos, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do appreciate that. It does help me quite a bit as well. I'm sure with the algos or whatever, helps me there. And you can also find me on X at AlphaCharts365 right over here. And if you really like my stuff, I do have a subscriber group where I do a ton of research for you guys, so you don't have to do the research. Educational information about the market, my focus list, midweek videos, market notes a couple times a week, 2 times a week specifically, annotated chart setups, market scans every day, daily posts just for subscribers, and so much more. Chart requests, direct access for questions, and so on and so forth. If you're interested in that, at Alpha Charts 365 and click on the subscribe button. Okay, let's get into the charts. So we just had a monthly close, and we're on the SPY, and let's just go to a monthly chart real fast just to look at this. And you can see how this is a beautiful base. And we broke out of the handle-ish area, right? And so far it's only 1 day, but things are moving higher. 2 days. No, 1 day, only 1 day in the markets. And things look like they're moving higher. So let's go to a weekly chart just for funds. And you can see that there's your cup and handle look, right? Base. And there's your breakout from mid-November, and then try and move higher. Again, it has not completely broken out yet. So now let's go to a daily chart. All right. And then same general area. You can see how there's a lot of accumulation happening in the handle area, right? So not here, not here, not here, not here. But then there's the accumulation that's starting to show up. And we're at that area, right? This 455, 460 area has been, resistance now at least 4 times in the past, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So the question is does this continue higher? Everyone's very bulled up right now, right? Very, very bulled up. So does this continue higher, or does this need to shake out some of that excessive bullishness? Again, we have not technically, in my opinion, broken out yet. Maybe we will, but at the high over here, which was 459.44, right, which is just a bit higher than where we're at here. What was the high here? 459.65, right? It still has not been. I think that's the key level. It's got to close above 459.44, so 459.50, we'll call it. Quite hasn't done that yet, but market's still extremely bullish. So in my opinion, there's no reason to think that we're not going to be moving higher, but we may have a shakeout before that. That's I guess what I'm saying. Now, if price closes above 459.50, then screw it, right? Just go long and enjoy the ride, right? Because who knows where it ends. I'm just saying that's a very key pivotal point that we just have not broken yet, right? Price gets above 459.50, 460, whatever, and closes above it, then now this resistance zone then will become support. It flips, and it's off to the races, right? Bullish lines, moving averages, everything looks good there. Again, there's no reason to think that we aren't going to move higher, and I'm not bearish in any way, shape, or form. But I just don't know if we're going straight up, or if there's got to be a little shakeout on the SPY, especially. Looking at the RSP, again, let's look at what SPY was up for the week. I always like to check the weeks out. 0.82 for the week, so a decent week, good week for the SPY. RSP was up 2.45. That's awesome, right? That's the rotation. Sorry, I should go there. That's the rotation that we're looking for, right? So we're getting away from the mega caps, going into small and mid caps and other names that aren't the, what do you want to call it, Magnificent Seven or whatever they're calling it these days. So that's awesome to see. Breadth broadening out. You see Friday was really good. There's your moving averages really starting to align more bullishly with the 50 already turning up. And you see we had identified this inverse head and shoulders back here, again, mid-November. It lines up probably, right? If we, just like in the SPY, let's stop that. It lines up probably perfectly like right there, you know what I'm saying? The breakout. And it's been pretty straight up since then, and everything looks great. Again, there's some more room to the upside here, right? 2-3%. But then we do run into, again, prior resistance. 1, 2, 3. You know, this would be the fourth time again into this area. So yes, there's some more room. We'll see if it continues higher or not, right? Once it gets into here. But this is a significant area that we're coming up to. Qs, and we're at on the SPY. Here's the Qs, same general idea. Let's go to the monthly just to take a look at it. There's your monthly chart. Again, has that cup and handle-ish look. Then let's go to the weekly chart. It was up only 0.1. The Qs were only up 0.12 on the week, just so you know where you guys really understand that. That's not a ton, right? 0.12, that's basically break even. But this is what I'm talking about as far as the weekly goes. Beautiful cup and handle. There's your breakout. And let's go to the daily. And you see, let's just zoom into the daily chart. And you see that this has been an area of resistance. Looks like it turned support. The bigger picture is, you know, this 400-ish level. There's room to the upside, of course. My preferred, and this is what I kind of drew out for subscribers the other day, was, you know, it comes up into this 400-ish area, then we get rejected there, it comes back down, this 385-ish kind of holds, and then we actually break out. That's my preferred movement. We don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that's what I'd like to see. Looking at the week, 0.12 again on the week. Equal weighted was up 1.49. That's a big difference, right? Again, that's the broadening out of the markets. I'm gonna actually take this out because I don't think it's relevant anymore. You see moving averages back to align bullishly again, and you know, right into this $80 area, right, which has been resistance, and it remains to be seen if this is going to be resistance coming into next week or not. But it's a big area, right, on the equal weights. You can have that cup and handle-ish look. And again, I drew this out because nothing goes straight up, right? So eventually you're gonna have to get some sort of consolidation or pullback, right? You had a little bit right here, which was kind of nice to see, but now you're coming into the supply zone. Little pullback would be fine. There'd be nothing wrong with a even inside week, right, on the equal weights. That'd be really nice to see. And then maybe some sort of breakout at that point, right? It's been off the bottom. It's been really strong, right? 13.5% off the bottom in basically a month. That's just really strong market and great. Congrats if we all got a piece of that. I hope we all did. We should have. But again, a little pullback would be fine, and then the bigger breakout would be my preferred way to go. Here's the mid caps. 50-day curling up with the quickness. Giant day on Friday. There's absolutely room to the upside. You know, 3-4% to the upside here. Love that. Maybe this 500-ish area is, which was resistance numerous times. That's a spot I'd go, you know, to watch. You know, looking at the week, you know, mid caps were up 2.5%. Again, it's a beautiful week. And looking at the small caps, you have it was up 3% on the week. Again, talking about the rotation to small and mid caps, and you see that it is coming back up, and to the top of its range, it has another 7%, right? 6-7%, that 200-ish area roughly. That's really what could offer some resistance, and has, you know, multiple times very strong resistance here. We don't know if it'll continue or not to offer resistance, but we have to expect it will until it doesn't. But there's room to the upside. So That's where focus probably needs to be, small, mid-cap type names, because they seem to be outperforming, the cap weighted or the big weights, what I'm talking about. So let's keep going. XLF, that's an area that looks really interesting, right? So we have this bigger band right over here. Again, this, $36, $37 area, it could go a little higher than this to about 37-ish or so. This has been resistance again multiple times, and now prices coming into that area. Don't know if it's going to hold or not hold, but as far as resistance goes, but price is kind of extended into the area. A little pullback would kind of make sense. And again, not that I'm bearish. Actually, financials are starting to look really, really good. So would love to see, again, a little pullback and a breakout. For the purpose of this video, we look at it as an indicator, and it's indicating that right now everything is fine, right? Even if we get a little pullback, I think things are still lining up very, very bullishly moving forward. Looking at semiconductors, SMH, which is the cap weighted, right? We've talked about this giant, it was one of the first we've identified as a big cup and handle. And when you zoom in here, you see that it actually didn't do that great for the week. On the week, it was probably down. Actually, yeah, it was down 0.38, right? So the cap weighted semiconductors are kind of just consolidating in this area. They're not doing anything wrong, though. They're just letting the moving averages kind of catch up, and just basically moving sideways since November 14th, when that is when the rotation, the start of the small caps really took over, mid caps. Right now, let's go to the XSD, which is the equal weighted semiconductors, and we'll go to the weekly chart and see if that was different. And it was. Those are up 1.62. Again, it's further evidence of where we want to put our money, right? Don't want, it's not about NVIDIA, AMD, and Broadcom, right? It's about those smaller name semiconductors, if that's where we want to be. Again, nice, strong Friday, and now it has retaken the 200-day moving average, 50 days flipping back higher again. And we're right there at this general level of support resistance, right? If it can break out again, I drew this in weeks ago, it kind of did what I wanted it to do. It kind of came back into the moving averages, and now it's starting to move higher. Still kind of sideways-ish action, which is fine, but very, very bullish look. Again, above the 200 closing, any higher from here, and above this 202 area. I think small mid cap semis, right, as a trading vehicle look good, but also it's indicative of the rotation of the market into different cap weightings. Okay, looking at housing, ITB, right into, look at how strong that is, man. Oof. Broke out of this consolidation, up 3%, right? Good volume. Love how this consolidated up. We don't know if it may consolidate again here, but a breakout above 90 would be super strong, very bullish for the home construction index. And I can see this is something that I identified for my subscribers. This is a note I put on there. This is an example of an annotated chart that I offer them. And anyway, so some of them may have taken this particular trade, because I offer, because we look at ETFs as well as we're looking at individual names. Sometimes the ETF is the better choice, especially if there's 10 names that you love and you don't know which one to pick. A lot of times we'll go with an ETF instead, and you get a piece of all of them, right? This was great trade. So hopefully some of them got in on that particular name. Let's look at XHB. This one already kind of broke out of the area, right? Because remember, XHB is a little broader, less home construction, more people that supply home construction. So that one already broke out, leading. That looks really, really good as well. So yeah, fantastic look there on the home builders. Hard to say we're going to a recession if home builders are breaking out. That's it. That's the tweet of the day, right? Looking at transports, also very strong movement, 50-day going back up. There's nothing to be bearish about. Looking at equal weights, also even more bullish looking, breaking out of this general area that we identified. Again, it had the sideways movement, wasn't more quite a pullback, but just sideways movement, a little bit right there. And then now it broke out and things look really, really good again on transports. Again, hard to say that we're going to recession if transports are breaking out. That's it. Semiconductors look great. Financials look great. Transports look great. Home builders look great. That's a strong economy. That's it, right? That's why we look at these. So that's my feelings on that. Let's go to the internals. VIX under 13. We'll see if it breaks this or if it just kind of chops sideways here. Looking back, let's go back to 2020, pre-COVID. You see it can stay in this range, right? In this range for a decent amount of time and have very, very bullish price action. So I'm not shocked that it's kind of doing it again, right? And so, yeah, that's just bullish price action, right? So let's see if it continues. 2019, 2020, those were good times in the market. Hell, 2017 was fantastic. There was like no volatility in 2017, like at all, right? It was just a trending straight up market. Easy to trade. Day traders hated it, right? But trend traders loved it because that was what we do, right? It was easy to be in a name and stay in a name and make a lot of money. So we'll see. Maybe we're back to that type of market. Remains to be seen. Looking at credit spreads, right? If the market's going to fall apart, we'll probably see it in credit, and we are not seeing it in credit. We're at the low end of this general range that we've been in for a year and a half or so, and there's nothing wrong with that. And if it breaks lower from here, right? If it breaks lower from here, then that tells you a lot of information too, because expectation was through a consolidation, it should break higher, like it's done many times. Then if it breaks lower, it never really breaks higher, that's huge information, right? But again, as looks today, looks fantastic. Looking at the breadth, it's 74% above the 50-day. You see we're getting into this frothy-ish area. And again, doesn't mean it has to reverse once it gets up here. I like above 80 personally to say frothy. Doesn't mean it has to reverse, but many times after it hangs out in this 80 to 85 range, it could get up to 90s, right? It likes to kind of correct a little bit. You get some sort of pullback, which kind of aligns with my 3% or so higher in a lot of the, especially the equal weights. There's a 3%, 2 to 3% higher. That would probably cause breadth to really expand into this 80+%, and maybe we get a shakeout at that point. That's kind of what I'm watching for. Maybe this week, maybe not this week. We'll see. But we're due for some sort of shakeout. You can see how it's been straight off the bottom. Again, may go a little bit higher though. Don't be surprised if we get, like, maybe not this week, but next week we get that shakeout. Maybe we have one more really good week. We get a shakeout. Then hopefully towards the end of the year we get a nice rally. So that's a percent of stocks. Looking at put call ratio. So more of a sentiment indicator, not really at extreme. So there's room to run there too, as well. Sentiment is still right, leaning bullish, but not extremely bullish, right? There's still your bears that are holding on for dear life. Let's look at the dollar next. There's your dollar. We'll go, and you see how every time, we try to, we kind of rally into a moving average, or if I put the moving averages here, you see it. We rally into the shorter term moving averages. It kind of gets rejected. Good chance we're heading for 101, and then who knows what's going to happen, right? Once we get there, it's been support now many times over, and this area, this 105 to 107-ish area, has been resistance. So we will see what happens if and when it gets down here. But as of right now, we have lower highs and lower lows, very clearly marked, and a declining dollar should be good for equity. So we like that. And then looking at the 10-year yield, So 10-year yield is literally right at potential support, 4.2-ish area. So now the question is, does it, again, I gotta move my little toolbar there. Does it bounce from here, or is it gonna just fall right through and continue lower, right? Fall right through, it's possible, but man, I don't know about that. That'd be pretty awesome if it did. But with Powell saying that he's not cutting rates or whatever, again, I don't want to get too macro-ish because that's not my thing. But this would be support. And so a bounce would be the most likely scenario here, which could put a little pressure on equities. Not saying that we can't move lower, right? Maybe we get down to 411, right? 4.11. And then we bounce. Again, that would be part of that. We have a little bit higher to go, and then we could a shakeout of some sort, right? Then we'll see, right? I mean, heck, it could be something like this. Let's just, right? It could be boom, 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 right? And that would be the bullish scenario, in my opinion. So, wrapping it all up, there is no reason, I think, to be bearish in almost any time frame. Yes, we may get a pullback in the markets. I think that would just be a shakeout within an ongoing bull market, and just know what you want to buy, right? So you got to stick with the strongest areas and rotate with it. That's what I do. It's with every week, each and every week for subscribers through my midweek videos, end of week videos, market notes throughout the weeks, annotated charts. Every day we talk about what's going on, all kinds of bonus content. So if you're interested in that, find me on X at AlphaCharts365. $10 a month. I mean, the value you get for only $10 a month is awesome, I think, for as much content as you're getting. And luckily my subscribers have done well in general. Just sticking with what's working and us talking about it. Anyway, hope you all are doing good. Take care. Good luck this week. Bye-bye.